rules to surviving.
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
Hey YouTube land and all subsequent social media lands, welcome to an all new video. In this video we're going to be reviewing a film that just came out the middle of last month. I'm just getting around to doing the review for it now, and this is going to be a fantastic review to talk about, so we're going to get right into it. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where I post pretty much on a regular basis there too as well. So definitely check those out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all new video. So like I was saying before, in this video we're going to be doing a review of a film that came out the middle of last month in January, and is a fifth film in an awesome series of films that started with a 1996 film of the same name. And that of course is the film known as Scream 2022. Yeah, Scream 2022. So Scream 2022 is like I said, the fifth film in the series of the Scream films. The last one being Scream 4, which came out in 2011, so 11 years ago. And is a soft reboot and partially sequel to that original series as well. Now, of course, this is the first film in the series that is not directed by the late, great Mr. Wes Craven, who unfortunately passed away in 2015 from a brain tumor. Now, the guys that ended up taking over for this film series actually did a pretty decent job and kept that legacy of what Wes brought to life, kept it going in a really good and decent way. Now, to start us off, of course, is the directors of the film. It's actually a directing duo known as Mr. Mark Bartolini Open and Tyler Gillette. Yeah. Tyler Gillette. Yeah. So these two guys, Matt and Tyler, both are a great dynamic duo of directors who really popped on the scene a couple years ago, became this huge directing success, and pretty much is the reason why they, got this gig of making this next Scream film, is because of just how original and how fun they brought, horror back to its original core. Now, another film that they directed that I actually really enjoyed, thought it was pretty decent, thought the ending was kind of bizarre, but at the same time still a very decent film, is the film known as Ready or Not. Yeah, film Ready or Not. So Ready or Not is a film basically that it's about this family that basically has this tradition of sacrificing someone to keep all their wealth, their fame, their everything that they have is because of this supposed ritual that they do. And basically the movie's about this one girl is being married to a family. She has to be sacrificed to basically see if, she needs to be sacrificed to keep this legacy going, and basically kind of her battle and trying to stay alive. And it's just a really awesome and fun film, really well constructed, great acting by everyone involved, great directing by, Tyler and Matt themselves. They really brought this greatness to these characters, this story, and just all around it was just a really great all-around film. And from that film, you can see just how, the studios got the idea, well, maybe if they get their hands on this franchise, they could do the same with that. And that's what brought them to Scream, really. I mean, their success of that film. And what they did with Scream, I thought was really well done. And it's not my favorite of the Scream series, but definitely I thought that they did a good job. I thought they took the same formula that we got from the 1996, 1997, 2000, 2011 films, and, gave it an interesting twist. And kind of gave us this, whole new kind of, barrage like they said in the film, where they're trying to basically reinvent it to revitalize the franchise. And I thought that they did that. I thought that they did a good job with that. But the directing, the style, everything that they brought to the film was very different. But not in a horrible way, but in a decent way. And I just thought that they still kept the great legacy going for Wes and giving him that homage, and just did a really all-around great job of directing this film. If you haven't seen anything that Matt or Tyler have created, definitely check it out. They're pretty decent directors. So this film has a really great cast, really amazing people returning from the original franchise, and also newcomers to this amazing addition to this franchise. Now, to start us off is none other than, of course, kind of the main actress herself, the main character, I feel, that's kind of like the premise of the new story, kind of the new Neve Campbell character. And that, of course, is the actress known as Miss Melissa Barrera. Oh, yeah, Melissa Barrera. Woo, Miss La. So, Melissa Barrera, she's been around. She's done quite a few Spanish TV shows, soaps. She's been in a few different movies over the years. And is just an all-around okay actress. She's nothing great. I don't think she really is a leading actress, but definitely she did a decent enough job to keep you entertained in this film. Now, one movie that she was in that I actually thought she was pretty decent in, that I enjoyed her, that I thought she was better in, was a great film that came out last year that is a comedy, musical, kind of inspired film directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And that, of course, is a film called In the Heights. Yeah, In the Heights. Yeah. Love the In the Heights. That was a really fun film. I really enjoyed it. I loved all the musical numbers. I loved all the singing. I thought all the acting in it was really fun. And all around, I thought it was just a really fun, kind of entertaining musical film. And Melissa Barrera's character in the film is actually pretty decent and pretty fun. I enjoyed her interaction with the film. I liked her interaction with all the different characters. And I thought she did a good job of bringing some really fun to that characterization. And just giving us a great performance in that film. And just really worked really well and flowed really well with the film. A really great performance by Melissa in that film. If you haven't seen In the Heights yet, definitely check it out for Melissa. She was actually really decent in it. But like I was saying, when it comes to her performance in the Scream film, I felt it was lackluster. I don't feel it had the same feel as the original Sidney Prescott. I didn't feel like she gave the same vibes as, Neve Campbell. I know that she was kind of trying to do her own thing, but at the same time, it still didn't bring that same feeling I had when I saw the original Screams themselves, with Neve Campbell being the big main, hero. And, this Melissa Barrera character that she brought to this film, it had an interesting twist and an interesting, perspective to add to the story. But at the same time, I don't think Melissa really brought that to life and gave us the best performance she could give us. All around, I give it, like a 4 out of 10. Acting ability for this film. Other than that, she still wasn't too bad. She got the point across, and she was decent and kept you wanting to watch the film. Definitely not the greatest actress, but definitely decent in this film. So that brings me to the next actress I like to talk about that was in this film. Another newcomer that, comes along with David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Shelley Martin, all these characters that we're familiar with. This character is the sister of the main actress herself, Miss Melissa Barrera, in this film. And that happens to be the actress known as Miss Jenna Ortega. Yeah, Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega. So another Spanish actress, or Latino actress, I should say. And this actress I didn't really know much about. I saw her in one other film, but she has been in a few other things over the years. It's mostly been TV appearances and little bit pieces in different films over the years. She's a really young actress. She's only 19, so she doesn't have a lot of credits to her name yet, but she's definitely has, gotten a huge influence in Hollywood to get her to the position she's in, and, showing that she has some decent acting chops. Now, for my understanding from the film, I didn't really care for her character in the film. I thought she was really kind of a pathetic character, and I just didn't think she really meshed well with the film, and I just didn't think she really brought what I've seen her acting before to this film. I kind of felt she was kind of a whiny character, and that just made it very unenjoyable, and I was like really surprised at, that this character who I've seen before in another movie that I think she was pretty decent in, like, brought this almost exactly what she did in that to this, and it didn't really translate very well, I thought. Not an overall greatest performance I've seen in a film. Definitely a little bit deterred me from the film, but at the same time I thought that she could have done better. But Jenna Ortega, the other films that she was in that I actually really enjoyed her in, is a great Netflix sequel film to a film that came out in 2017. They just released in 2020, the sequel finally, and it's just a really fun sequel. And that, of course, the film called Babysitter Killer Queen. Yeah, Babysitter Killer Queen. I know a lot of people didn't care for this film, but this movie I think is fantastic and the bomb. I absolutely love this film. I think it's so fantastically done. Everyone in it's really fun. I love that all the same characters from the first film came back. Sam Weaving, Bella Thorne, everyone that came back, and it just was a really fun sequel. And Jenna Ortega actually plays the love interest of the main kid in this sequel film. And I actually thought she did a really decent job. I really liked her character. I thought she was fun. I thought that she had a really good chemistry in the film. And all around, I thought she did just a really good job. And that's why I'm really surprised that she seemed so horrible in Scream versus how she was in this. It just was such a disappointment. And I felt like she should have brought more to her character in Scream. But overall, Jenny did an okay job. I definitely think she didn't do as good as Melissa Barrera did. But at the same time, it still isn't such a horrible, acting gig. But at the same time, I think it did deter from the film a little bit for me. But definitely give her a try. Check out Jenna Ortega. If you haven't seen her in Killer Queen, Babysitter, definitely check her out. She was really fantastic in that film. So that brings me to the final actor I like to talk about in this film. And that is none other than the main villain himself, Mr. Jack Quaid. Oh yeah, Jack Quaid. Woo, Jack Quaid. So Jack Quaid you might all recognize, of course, from being the son, of course, of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, but also you might recognize him from the show The Boys as well, which he's become very well known for. But this, Jack Quaid, I think, is a pretty decent actor. I enjoy him. I think he's fun, and I just think that he always brings a kind of a funness to his characters. Kind of whiny most of the time, but at the same time, it's still very enjoyable and fun. Now, when it comes to his character in Scream, I enjoyed his villain. I liked it. I thought that it was interesting that, they brought that twist that was very similar, of course, to the original Scream, being the boyfriend the whole time. And I just enjoyed his concept of his character, and I thought that he did a pretty decent job, and I enjoyed his role throughout the film. Now, another film that he was in that I think is a really fantastic film, and he was really good in, was a great film that came out a few years ago called Tragedy Girls. Yeah, Tragedy Girls. This movie is really fantastic, really well done, great cast, great directing, just all around a fun film, and basically, what better concept is two people that want to be known as serial killers using serial killers to show that they're serial killers kind of deal. Using serial killers to help them get away with being serial killers. That is just a freaking cool concept, and that's just what made this movie so great. And Jack Quaid was so good playing the kind of like side character, love interest of one of the girls that's a serial killer. And he just brought a real kind of freshness to the character. Brought a really just fun dynamic, and I thought that he proved his acting chops in this film and gave us this really well-rounded performance. If you haven't seen Tragedy Girls, definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. But overall, I really liked Jack in the film. I thought he did a decent job, was really fun, and a decent villain. And overall, I thought that he brought a great performance that was a lot more, blockbuster-ish versus the other two main actresses in this film. And I just thought that he really brought the film together, along with, the additions, of course, of bringing back legacy characters such as David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Mary Shelton, which is a really great idea. And I like just like the whole concept of, what they brought in Jack Quaid to play and kind of his performance, and overall just gave us this really fantastic just villain and all-around character. Really enjoyed him. If you haven't seen Jack Quaid anything, definitely check him out. He is amazing, and check him out in Scream 2022. So what is Scream 2022 about? Basically, the premise of the story is that now it's been another 10 years since the last crazy killing spree in Woodsboro has happened, and Woodsboro once again has another crime spree going on with another ghost face. And, you know, it's time for all the originals to come back to figure out what the hell's going on and why this is happening again. And basically, that's the premise story. Everything about this film was really well conceived, like I said. I like how they brought back in Randy into this equation, having his sister have kids, having them have the same kind of movie knowledge like Randy did. That was really fun. I like how they, you know, incorporated like a shrine to him, showing him that. They did the same thing for Tatum from the original Scream at, you know, David Arquette's house in the film. We got all these really great throwbacks. We even found out that Kirby from the fourth film actually survived her killing in the fourth film. And we just got this really well-rounded, all-around great story that just really, you know, added to this great already franchise. Really well-done film, really fun, and very enjoyable and worth the watch. I definitely give this film 7 out of 10 Goldie Movie Boxes up. I don't give it a perfect because there were some flaws to it, and definitely some things that I feel they could have improved on. But overall, it was a really decent film, really fun, and definitely worth watching. If you haven't seen it, go check it out in theaters now, and give it a whirl, people. It's definitely worth a watch and a great addition to this franchise. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here or you have been before, don't forget to check out any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine. As always, people, if you enjoy my content, want to show support, definitely check out my awesome Patreon page where I do amazing extras for my subscribers and people that are part of my Patreon, where you get shout-outs, outtakes, bloopers, all kinds of cool stuff that you can see that is addition to what you're already seeing on my YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. And also, if you're a huge horror fan, definitely check out the Horror Pack, which is a great subscription service that gives you great horror films to your door every month for a great low price. So definitely check that out too. As always, people, catch you in the next one!